Hello everybody. It's been a couple weeks since I made a video. Been a little busy and sidetracked. But today I'm in the office and I wanted to make a little video here to answer a question that we get oftentimes at talks and presentations, and even on Facebook sometimes we get a question. And that is, what was the first steam engine that ran on the Perkiomen, or first type of steam engine? Well, the earliest days of railroading were basically 040s, which meant it had just 4 drive wheels. They didn't have a cab. They're like the Reading Rocket, which is on display at Strasbourg Railroad Museum. Those were the earliest types of engines. Then as they got a little bit bigger, later on, by the 1850s and 60s, they went to what's called an American type. This is an American type steam engine, which were pretty much the main type of steam engine up until about the turn of the century. Then they came out with Atlantics, early 1900s with Atlantics and Camelbacks and all, but from pretty much the 1860s up to about the turn of the century, the main engine was what's called an American type. It had 4 lead wheels, 8 drive wheels, no trailing wheels, and then the tender, which is not in this picture. So that's an American type steam engine, which was called the Perkiomen. This is sitting in Schwanksville. Can't tell exactly where, because that pavilion building, whatever, is probably long gone. Well, you look at this picture. This was an American type steam engine in Schwanksville, and it said July 5th, 1869, first engine to serve the community. Now, the first section of the Perkiomen Railroad that went down through Collegeville, from Oaks to Collegeville, was completed in 1867. As I always say, it's often for debate when it hit Schwanksville. It's probably late 1868, early 1869 is when it actually made it to Schwanksville. So, not saying this was the first run, but this was early on. The railroad was not in service at this point, much past Schwanksville, maybe a little bit, but not being used. It was being built, of course, but not much past Schwanksville at this point. And this was the first engine that served the Perkiomen Railroad. So, have you ever been wondering what the first engine was? Now, like I said, the railroad was completed into Collegeville by 1867, and there could have been other engines down there for work, work trains and, whatever else, could have been down there. And there could have been another engine, but this here says first engine to serve the community. So there may have been other engines before. Like I said, the railroad was already in service for 2 years. And it was in service in Schwanksville at this point by July of 1869. It was already in service in Schwanksville for probably a year or less, maybe. Like I said, it depends. Some places say it hit Schwanksville 68, some say 69. So that's one of those things, like I always say, it's up for debate. As popular and common as the Perkiomen Railroad is and was and is, I don't know, what's the right way to say that? I don't know. Perkiomen Railroad has always been a pretty popular line. It's still hard to find certain information sometimes when you're looking for stuff on the Perkiomen. So, like I said, here's an American type. You can tell back in the day, they really put a lot into them. I mean, there's probably all the handrails and whistle and everything else you see, and the trim's probably all polished brass. Nicely painted, very ornate. This is called the Perkiomen. Sometime in the early 1900s, I'll have to do a follow-up on this because I don't have my Reading Steam book with me. This engine was renumbered, I think, and then it was finally scrapped, I think, in the 1920s. It was actually scrapped. But, like I said, the line started in Oaks, was completed to Collegeville in 1867. And here it is in Schwanksville. And, like I said, it's an American type. Actually, we got one up here on the wall. This ain't the Perkiomen. This is the Philadelphia Reading, Philadelphia. But that's the same engine. See, 4 lead trucks, 4 lead wheels, 4 drive wheels, and a tender. That's what the Perkiomen would have looked like. Same type of engine, same thing. And then, like I said, after the turn of the century, came the Atlantics and the Camelbacks and then the Pacifics. As the time went on, steam engines, trains got longer, heavier, faster, and the locomotives got bigger and faster and heavier. Then you got 4/8 wheel arrangements. It's a whole thing. They got bigger as time went on. But this would have been your standard engine for probably the I'd say 1850s up to the 1880s, turn of the century, would have been probably your standard engine. And again, this was the first one. Like I said, there may have been others, work trains, or even just coming down the line for whatever. But this was the first one that served Perkiomen. And like I said, in 1869, the track may have went a little farther than Swanksville. Not too far, but and whatever was there wasn't useful. There's no stations or anything. Didn't go to a station at that point. It just went probably towards, went out of town. Wasn't out of station yet, or too far down the line yet at that point. So this was the first one, like I said. And I'm starting to say the stuff. Oh, I get yelled at for that. Anyway, so I figured I'd get this little video here. So there you go. The first engine, the American type Perkiomen that served the Perkiomen Railroad. First engine. I'll talk to you later. Thanks.